Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Yes. So, change of scenery. We are at the park today. Okay. This is nice. It's a nice day. It's like 71, 72 today. It's very nice. My daughter is right beside me, per usual. She's always near, holding my hand. Anchor. So, you might hear her in the background. So, just be mindful of that. But yeah, so we are covering Job 6 today, and I'm still reading out of my Chile Truth CSB version. I hear that wind. This is nice. But okay, so let's get started. Job 6. Then Job answered, if only my grief could be weighed and my devastation placed with it on the scales, for then it would outweigh the sand of the seas. This is why my words are rash. Surely the arrows of the Almighty have pierced me. My spirit drinks their poison. God's terrors are arrayed against me. Does a wild donkey bray over fresh grass, for an ox low over its fodder? Is bland food eaten without salt? Is there flavor in an egg white? I refuse to touch them. They are like contaminated food. If only my request would be granted and God would provide what I hope for, then that he would decide to crush me, to unleash his power and cut me off. It would still bring me comfort, and I would leap for joy in unrelenting pain, and I have not denied the words of the Holy One. What strength do I have that I should continue to hope? What is my future that I should be patient? Is my strength that of a stone, or my flesh made of bronze? Since I cannot help myself, the hope for success has been banished from me. A despairing man should receive loyalty from his friends, even if he abandons the fear of the Almighty. My brothers are as treacherous as a wadi, as seasonal streams that overflow and become darkened because of ice, and the snow melts into them. The wadis evaporate in warm weather. They disappear from their channels in hot weather. I can't pronounce any of these words. Caravans turn away from their routes, go up into the desert and perish. The caravans of Tema look for these streams. The traveling merchants of Sheba, hope for them. They are ashamed because they had been confident of finding water. When they arrive there, they are disappointed. So this is what you have now become to me. When you see something dreadful, you are afraid. Have I ever said, give me something, or pay a bribe for me from your wealth, or deliver me from the enemy's hands, or redeem me from the hand of the ruthless? Teach me, and I will be silent. Help me understand what I did wrong. How painful honest words can be, but what does your rebuke prove? Do you think that you can disprove my words, or that a despairing man's words are mere wind? No doubt you would cast lots for a fatherless child and negotiate a price to sell your friend. But now, please look at me. I will not lie to your face. Reconsider, don't be unjust. Reconsider, my righteousness is still the issue. Is there injustice on my tongue, or can my palate not taste disaster? And that is Job 6. So, with Job 6, some things that I said. So, for verses 8 to 10, which says, I'll say 8 to 9, it says, if only my request would be granted and God would provide what I hope for, then he would decide to crush me, to unleash his power and cut me off. So he's asking God to the wind is blowing, okay? Keep blowing this off, blowing this down. But he's asking God to pretty much kill him, take him out of his misery, because he doesn't want to deal with this anymore. He feels like this is too much on him. So he's asking God to kill him, crush him, take him out of his misery. And then verse 10, it says, it will still bring me comfort, and I will leap for joy in unrelenting pain, that I have not denied the words of the Holy One. So with this, Job is pretty much saying, like, despite all I'm going through, despite all he's going through, he still has not denied the words of God. Okay? He's just voicing his struggles and what he's struggling with, and he just wants to die and be taken out of his torment, if I could say. That's the word. He's been through a lot. So he's asking for death because he doesn't understand what he did wrong. But then again, even God said that he is a blameless man. Okay? And then verses 11 to 13, what strength do I have that I should continue to hope? What is my future that I should be patient? Is my strength that of a stone, or my flesh made of bronze? Since I cannot help myself, the hope for success has been banished from me. So I said, for this one, he doesn't have the strength to endure the pain. He feels helpless. And it really just made me think of me, like, when you're going through something hard or struggling, like, it makes you feel like you don't have the strength to endure. Like, why should you continue to push and try if everything keeps, like, going against you, like, not working in your favor? So in a situation like this, you feel helpless. But yeah, like, what else stood out to me? My child's trying to stand up. Something else that stood out to me. 24. Teach me and I will be silent. Help me understand what I did wrong. 25. How painful honest words can be, but what does your rebuke prove? So with this, it's like he's really trying to figure out, like, what he did to deserve this. And like, because he doesn't know what he did to deserve this. He's like, what did I do? So he said, help me understand what I did wrong. And then, you know, how painful honest words can be, but what does your rebuke prove? Because his friends are arguing with him, like, blaming him for making it seem like it's his fault that all this happened to him. But I mean, so far, it's not his fault. He didn't do anything. I haven't read all of it, so far it's not his fault. He hasn't done anything. The Lord is just, I don't even want to say testing. I guess it's testing his faith, because the devil came and said, hey, Job is doing so good and he's a blameless man because you bless him. So God took everything away from him to see if he would still bless his name and not curse his name. So yeah, and then 28 to 30. But now, please look at me. I will not lie to your face. Reconsider. Don't be unjust. Reconsider. My righteousness is still the issue. Is there injustice on my tongue, or can my palate not taste disaster? So it's like, this chapter reminds me of, like, you know, when you are right, like when you have integrity and you are right, and someone is trying to prove that you are wrong, but you know your character, you know what you did and did not do. God knows what you did and did not do, but you got somebody arguing against you, saying that you did something that you didn't do. This is kind of what this reminds me of. Like, he's trying to defend his integrity and his character, but the situation around him, what's happening to him, makes it seem as if he's lying, but he's not. So this is just what this, like, reminded me of. But those are the verses that stood out to me in this chapter of Job 6. But yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, what stood out to y'all in this chapter, and like, it's hard. Like, and look, verse 2, if only my grief could be weighed and my devastation placed with it on its scales. Like, this man is struggling, but like, it really reminds me of me and my current situation. Like, if only my grief could be weighed and my devastation placed with it on the scales. Verse 3, for it would outweigh the sand of the seas. That is why my words are harsh, because the weight and grief of everything he is dealing with and struggling with is so heavy That's why he's like spazzing out, because he was like, yo, like I didn't do nothing to deserve this. So why is it happening to me? The wind is strong. But like, so like, why is it happening to me? You know? Have you ever found yourself asking God, like, why is this happening to me? Like, what have I done to deserve this? And we're not like Job. Job was blameless. A bug, Jesus. Ugh. I hate bugs, baby. And we outside, okay? But yeah, so have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're like, God, why me? What did I do to deserve this? There is a scripture. I can't remember it. I'm gonna put it in the comments when I do. But it's literally like, why not you? Because like Jesus did everything for us. So it's like, why not you? But yeah. So please share in the comments what verses from Job 6 stood out to you. And if you were ever in a situation where you're like, why God? I'm doing everything right. Or you're trying to do everything right, but everything seems to fail, and you might have been in a season where you felt that you didn't have the strength to continue, the strength to endure what you were going through. But God, our strength alone comes from God. Nothing and nobody else can bring us that strength and that peace that only God can bring. That's why in the midst of all this, and in the midst of all our struggles, troubles, hardships, being in the valley, like, we have to continue to focus on Christ and His Word and what it says. But yeah, I love y'all. I pray y'all are able to. I'm hearing bugs flying near me. No. But I pray y'all are able to read Job 6 and share in the comments what verses stood out to you. That's a big bug out here. Is it close? Because it sounds close. Okay, y'all. I love y'all. Bye.